The following program is a presentation of Jez Sports. Greetings and salutations, wrestling fans. Welcome to the Main Event Podcast. I'm Jez. That's Dan. We're here for our 180th episode to discuss WWE Survivor Series War Games.
War Games.
It's the end of our quarter of predictions, so a champion will be determined in this episode. Will it remain with Dan, or will the belt be making its way east? Not really south. Like, we're both about as south as you can get, really. So it's heading east to me for warming of my shoulder. And I do need warming, Dan, because it's bloody cold.
It is really cold.
Today especially. What is the date today as of recording? In case people are watching later. Yes, the 30th of November today as we record.
December tomorrow.
And it's definitely feeling like December weather already.
Yeah, it's very cold.
I struggled to get the house warm today. I was like, right, more heating. Yeah, and I finally got there. And it's pretty hot in this room. This is like the hottest room in the house. So I'm probably just going to get pinker and
Rosy
pinker
cheeks
as the episode goes on. But it's fine. I'm here. I'll survive, and I have sustenance that will match my pink face, really.
Yeah.
In the form of the Funky Goat Cherry.
Yeah.
Has your shipment arrived?
Indeed.
Oh, good. There you go. So you're on the horny goat.
Yeah.
Yeah. You've already got it open. What do you think of it?
It's all right. It's not bad. Definitely get a little bit of a mango-y flavour. But I have tried the cherry one as well, and I have to say I do prefer the cherry.
Oh, yeah. Well, the cherry has been described by me as sexual, so
Yes, and
it's
I would
high
have
praise.
to agree with that.
I'm very much enjoying a bit of it now.
Yeah, you are.
I taste it before it even comes to my face, like just the smell of it. Like immediately, I'm like, yeah, it's so like cherry-y. It's great.
Yeah.
And that is all to say that this episode of the Main Event Podcast is sponsored by Goat Energy Drinks. Get yourself a case of their all-natural energy drink in original mango that Dan's drinking, or in sexual cherry. That's not what it's called, but that's what I'm calling it. Go to goatdrinks.co.uk, enter the code JEZ10 down there in the bottom corner. You'll get 10% off your order and free shipping. Yeah, Dan gets to do the pointing. It's right there under him. Now then, those predictions that we mentioned, coming into this, the last event, the scores are me 106, you 109. And I didn't come into this event very confident because due to the predictability, for lack of a better term, of WWE, I did figure that we would probably be kind of predicting the same things. So even if we did really well, I would still lose because I'm too far behind. So that is reflected in my predictions, where I kind of went a bit off the wall.
Oh, did you now?
In the hopes that maybe the powers that be in WWE would go a bit off the wall and I would be able to make back those points. Did it work?
No.
No, not really. Spoiler alert. But we'll follow that as it develops. Yeah. Let's get into the show. It was a very happy 5 matches, rather than the 67,000 that come in an AEW event, or the slightly less 64,000 that come in a New Japan event. Impact's kind of about where it should be, really. I think they've got the numbers right. Yeah. Anyway, I digress. It opened with Women's War Games. Bianca Belair, Charlotte Flair, Shotzi, and Becky Lynch versus Damage Control, Bayley, Asuka, Io Sky, and Kairi Sane. How did you feel about this one?
Well, I thought it was a good opener. a bit annoyed that it wasn't a 5-on-5.
Yeah. I mean, I don't really know enough about the overall history of War Games to know whether this was a complete departure, whether it's always been 5. But I get the impression, because it was, controlled by WCW for so long, that they messed around with it. Like World War 3, which was War Games with 3 rings, was that 3 teams as well? I don't even know. I feel like I should probably go back and watch a few of them, but who has the time, frankly?
Yeah.
But the idea of it being over 3 rings sounds pretty crazy to me. So maybe
sounds nuts.
I'll probably go and check some of those out. But I've got a year to do it before the next War Games, if indeed they keep War Games around for Survivor Series. But I was a little miffed that it was 4, and we'll just blame Dakota Kai for still being injured. Sort it out, love. Your knee can't be that bad. Just get back in the ring.
Take some morphine.
Yeah,
you'll be fine.
If you were the 5th person to come in for your team, then you wouldn't have to do very much. You just stand around in the corner, swing a chair a bit, be fine. Be fine. If Adam Cole can pretend to have a match with a broken ankle, you can do it on your nearly healed knee. It'll be fine. Yeah. So, back to you. What did you like?
I did quite like it. The suplex onto the steel plate that was in between the rings hurt. Looks like it hurt.
Yeah, you can't really do much about that, can you? They say that the ring apron is the hardest part of the ring, and so if you've got 2 ring aprons and you put a plate on it, that's probably going to be pretty hard. So
it's going to go pretty hard.
Yeah.
I did like Dakota Kai's interference. She's kind of like, she can do whatever she wants because they can't get her, and if they do try and get her, they're going to be disqualified. So
yeah.
Why not?
Yeah, other than taking that stick and trying to jab her a little bit, but she can just move. So
damage control shenanigans. I liked how Shotzi used the cage door, slam it into the face. Shotzi kicking the chair into Bailey's face. I like that. There's a lot of good things on this. Sky just going, I'm just going to bring a chain in. Why not? Bianca Belair having 2 hair braids and using them as whips.
Do you know, I hadn't even considered that. That went over my head, but of course you did. Yeah.
So I think that was good. Sky's going face first into the trash can into the corner that she set up. The elbow by Kairi Sane onto Belair, I think it was, while being launched into the sky by Io Sky. I thought that was quite unique.
Yeah, it was unique. Not? Yeah, launched into the Io Sky.
Yeah. Sky doing, as I put it, trash can fishing, where she went on top of the thing, threw the cage down, and then Dakota Kai hooks the trash can.
Oh, yeah.
Fished it back up. I thought that's quite funny, that.
Yeah.
And then Sky obviously putting the trash can on her head and then jumping off. All right, enjoying that.
Yeah, I should have just had the cherry one last week as well.
Yeah, you should have. But very good. I've only got one negative, and that is when Shotzi is going to do a move off the corner. I can't remember what it was. And the camera was pointing directly at her, and you could see her telling her opponent on the floor, come this way. It's like, okay, run the mystique of it there a bit.
Yeah, I mean, the cameramen and directors are probably a little bit to blame for that because they need to be working to hide that kind of communication. But I agree with you. Did I black out, or did you not mention the trash can cannonball from the? You did. Okay, I must have blacked out. Got too excited about the cherry, I guess.
Excited about the cherry.
I've got everything that you had. Kairi bringing in a giant tray. I guess it looked like a tray to me. They were like trash can lid. I'm like, no, I think that was just a massive like serving platter.
Yeah, there wasn't like a handle on top.
No, it looked like something that somebody would walk around and be like, hors d'oeuvre, sir. Would you like a pickled prawn or piece of fruit on a stick or something. I don't know. I don't go to cocktail parties. But if I did, that's probably what I would offer. Maybe
that's what you'd offer. Okay.
Yeah. Pickled prawns. Anyway, I agree with all of your goods. The only other bad I have, and it was just a bit of a weird thing, actually. I can't really work out whether it was just ring rust or whether she was doing a weird thing. But there were a few points in the match when Kairi Sane was just a bit stiff, and I don't mean stiff in the strong style sense, just like she was dead weight for Charlotte, like really she really struggled to move her around. She was just a bit rigid, and I'm like, it's just strange.
I can see
lack
that.
of communication, maybe. I don't know what the reason was, but it just was like, oh, this it's not slick, it's not smooth, and hopefully it can be ironed out the more that Kairi Sane wrestles again in WWE. Switching styles is probably difficult going from Japan to WWE. So yeah. Any final thoughts on this?
No, it was a good opener.
Yeah, it was a good opener. I thought it was a very fun match, despite the them being one shy each on each side of the match. Predictions. We both went for the team of Belair, Flair, Shotzi, and Lynch, so therefore we get a nothing to start this event.
We are
both donuts. Yeah. Onwards. WWE Intercontinental Championship. Gunther defending against The Miz. I really enjoyed this match. I was actually looking forward to this match the most on the card.
Yeah.
And it's because I'm a big fan of The Miz. I really am. I think he does so much for WWE and has done for years. And it's nice every now and again when he gets a bit of the kudos for that. Yeah. And I feel like this feud has been that kudos. And the fact that they're about to continue it seems, based on the events of Monday Night Raw, then excellent. I'm all for it.
Yeah.
I will say, prediction-wise, straight away, I went for The Miz.
Did you?
As me being a bit off the wall, but also going, it would be incredible if they did it. And we talked about it before. Finding a credible person to take the belt off Gunther is extremely difficult.
Yeah.
But The Miz is a perfect candidate, especially because it means that he would tie Chris Jericho's record as the person that's held the Intercontinental Championship the most. And you can bet your bottom dollar that they would have him drop it fairly quickly and then win it back again so that he would become the most. Yeah. And I was very surprised that they did actually name drop Chris Jericho. Not on Survivor Series, I don't think, but on Raw.
Yeah, it was on Survivor Series.
Was it? Yeah, I knew they did it at some point, but it all blurs together for me when it's 3 a.m. I didn't expect them to actually name drop Chris Jericho, and fair play to them, they did it. So kudos. They name dropped somebody else from AEW as well over the course of the show. I can't remember. Oh, Edge. They dropped Edge's name in there. Yeah. Anyway, so I've got nothing negative or bad or ugly to say about this. I've only got goods. Miz's ring gear, first of all.
Yeah.
He was wearing his history on his trunks and his knee pads and his general attire. All the logos were like different stages of his career, and I thought that was really nice considering the story that was being told in this match. I thought it was a good bit of ring gear selection. The Miz ducking and weaving and then catching out Gunther on the apron, just going for the legs. He's a much smaller guy than Gunther. It makes sense that he's got to do something to try and even the score. That was nice. And in general, it was just a decent match. I feel like it would have needed shenanigans for the Miz to win. But they could have done the shenanigans. Maybe it will happen. Now that they're going to do it again. We shall see.
We shall see.
Anything from you, sir?
Nope. Just it was a good match and enjoyed it.
Yeah. Well, my crazy gamble did not pay off because Gunther won, and you went for Gunther because it was the safe option. So
it's the logical answer.
So you can be the ones.
I'll be the one.
And I'll stay over here with my my yummy donut. Hopefully, hopefully funky goat cherry flavored donut.
There you go.
If I can't win a point, at least I can get some product placement in.
Yeah.
Next match, not the match that we were expecting for the last few weeks, but yeah, Dragon Lee versus Santos Escobar.
Yeah.
Over to you.
Yeah. It's fine. I liked the aggression of Escobar now that he's away from Rey Mysterio. It seemed a lot more aggression, and it just seemed like from the offset, Escobar's going to win, and it's like you could tell he was going to win. I liked Escobar ripping out the mask as well. You know, why not?
Yeah.
But apart from that, it was fine.
Yeah, they really need to bring back some of the things that Escobar was doing when he first came to NXT. You know, when he arrived as El Hijo del Fantasma, and then he dropped the mask, he dropped the name. You know, it's the same kind of deal, really. He's dropping that lucha libre heritage to focus on himself. So it's much the same story. I like that that he's gone back to the Legado music, because it's just good music. I'm just gutted that this wasn't Carlito.
Yeah,
I was waiting to see Carlito back. I don't know why they chose it. I was, waiting for the dirt sheets to give me the answer as to why they changed this match. And the only thing I can think of is they got scared and they wanted to have Dragon Lee be on TV more. But if that's the case,
Dragon Lee officially gone to the main roster?
He has officially moved up to SmackDown. Yeah. Yeah, it happened very unceremoniously. But considering they're really looking to push Dragon Lee, clearly, the fact that A, that happened with a whisper, and B, that he lost this match, why not keep Carlito in and have him lose the match? Like, I don't understand this booking. So I'm assuming that Carlito was injured or not ready in some way. I don't know. That's the type of thing that you'd hope somebody would ask in the press conference, but they didn't. They were too excited about something else that's yet to come in Survivor Series. Yeah. God knows what that was. So again, trying to be a little out there, but not too out there. I went with Dragon Lee. It made sense to me. He's the baby face. They're trying to push him, so whatever. I expected that to happen. But Santos Escobar won, and you went with Santos Escobar, so you will get the point. You will go to 2.
Thank you.
And Next, Rhea Ripley versus Zoe Stark for the Women's World Championship.
Please tell me you didn't go out there on this prediction.
I did not go out there on this prediction.
Thank God for that.
Yeah. No, I had no reasonable expectation of any kind that they were going to have Zoe Stark win this, and so I was like, no, I'll get a point here. At least if I can't get my crazy out there points, I will at least get this safe point. And this was the safest match of the night, really.
Oh
yeah. I don't have a huge amount to say about it. I didn't enjoy it that much, if I'm being honest with you.
Yeah.
They've got that huge stacked roster of women on Raw.
Yeah.
And I'm not really that enamored with any of them. It's not to say that they're bad, but I'm just like, okay, another person to job to Rhea Ripley, fine. And Rhea Ripley's great, so great, keep her the champion for ages and whatever, but it doesn't really present as decent television.
No.
It's the only thing. The only positive I have, really, and I think it might have come up before, the corkscrew senton by Zoe Stark. Bloody love that move. It looks great. She executes it perfectly. And in terms of the bad, all the Slim Jim nonsense. Yeah. It's like, nobody likes shameless product placement. Like, there's just no need for it.
I don't.
Like, it's absolutely unnecessary to promote a product in your show. Shame on you, WWE and Slim Jim. I don't know what it is you think you were playing at, really. Oh, bloody hell, that's good.
So
yeah, but that's all I have to say about that match. Anything from you?
no.
Yeah.
No.
A match that happened, for sure.
This was definitely a match that happened, I think.
And by virtue of not being a crazy fool, I went with Rhea Ripley, you went with Rhea Ripley, which means that finally I'm the ones, and you all moved to 3.
Yes.
And we're already at the main event.
Yeah, I know.
It's almost that this show kind of came and went and wasn't huge, really, until now, until the main event.
Yeah.
The main event was what this was about in its entirety. Men's War Games. Cody Rhodes, Seth freaking Rollins, Jey Uso, Sami Zayn, and Randy Orton, kinda, against the Judgment Day, Damian Priest, Finn Balor, Dirty Dominic Mysterio, and JD McDonough, and then also Drew McIntyre was there as well. That's a very good Randy Orton. His arm pose is actually really difficult to get right.
Well, I've just worked it out. All he does is he kind of just relaxes his hands.
Yeah. Yeah, but it's more the arm placement, because it used to be a lot wider. A lot wider. And then over the time, it just kind of like deer antlers.
Yeah.
But yeah, you've got it down. I can't find the right place for my arms.
I'm just that good.
Yeah, fair play. You've also got more time on your hands and arms than I do.
Yes.
Anyway, it's you, I think. Yeah.
I get both War Games.
Lucky you, because nothing but goods from me on this one.
Oh yeah, I enjoyed this. The way Seth Rollins just got straight into it, jumping over the ropes and just going, let's just go. Kicking JD out of the door. Just get out. Why you there, JD? As my girlfriend pointed out, the yeet chant.
Yeet.
Yeet, yeet, yeet. Zayn using the door and Finn. Zayn running on Priest in between the 2 rings. Where he kind of held on. That's just fun.
Yeah.
Just great.
You don't get to do that kind of stuff very often. It's not very often you've got 2 rings next to each other. So, yeah, you got to make the most of it.
Zayn using the steel pipe. Well, ripping it off the cage and then using it.
Mm-hmm.
Why not? Drew dismantling Uso. I don't really like Drew McIntyre, but I did quite like how he just went in and just went, I'm going to destroy you.
Yeah, and to add to that, McIntyre just seething in the shark cage at the beginning. Just very good, kayfabe, I want to kill this guy. I'm not a huge fan of McIntyre. I'd much prefer him as a heel, and it seems we are heading in that direction as much as he is pretending not to be a heel. But that was good. Yeah. Anyway, carry on.
Yeah. Uso and Zayn are doing the 1D. Great. The bull rope.
Yep.
Good old callback to Dusty. And then everyone just going on Dom. Great. The triple choke slam.
Mm-hmm.
I like that. Everyone doing the draping DDT after Randy Orton came in. I also liked the delayed of Randy Orton coming in where they were waiting for him, and then Rhea Ripley comes in, says we're going to cash in the Money in the Bank, and then Randy Orton came in.
I did and I didn't like that. It was fine, but I think I would have preferred that the first music that we got, when they were like, this is the men's War Games match, and then just went silent for a while, and then hit his music, and then he just gets to do a whole entrance and soak in the crowd and do all that kind of thing and get his kudos, because with the other return that happened, it was overshadowed a little bit, and I am of course talking about R-Truth earlier in the night.
Of course, R-Truth.
I feel like they probably should have kept R-Truth for another night. Really, it totally made Randy Orton's return look insignificant. They both came back from injury, and quite frankly, R-Truth's was worse. So but no, that's how I would have done it.
Yeah. I also liked when they did all the finishers, signature moves, one after another. That was good. And then the RKO from the top of the cage.
Yeah, the launching into the RKO. Yeah, that was nice.
I liked that. So I just enjoyed the whole match.
Yeah, I mean, I've got all of those things. Couple of other things that I liked. The Razor's Edge through the table to Seth Rollins from Damian Priest. That was nice. And specifically the cashing in bit, or the attempt to cash in bit of that interlude when we were waiting for Randy Orton. So I just felt that was nice. Got Rhea Ripley back out there. So
that's another question I got for you. Do you think Damian Priest will be World Heavyweight Champion at some point?
I do, but I don't think it's going to be as a result of this Money in the Bank contract. I think we're probably still a good year away from that happening. I think somebody else will be the World Heavyweight Champion when Damian Priest wins it. So we're talking 2 champions probably, because you need a heel to take it from Rollins and then a babyface to take it back again, unless Priest is ousted or something and turns babyface. But who knows? Yeah. Good question though. What do you think?
I don't think he's ready just yet, and I don't think it will happen from the Money in the Bank briefcase.
The problem is that championship is too new, and so as cool as a Money in the Bank cash-in is, it's not as prestigious and respected as if you have just won the championship in a match by defeating your opponent. It's fine for a championship that's like 60 years old or whatever it is in the WWE Championship, because it's had that prestige before and it will again. But you've got to be really careful when establishing a new championship that you don't cheapen it too quickly. And so this long reign of Seth Rollins is a great way to start it. But we've got to be thinking about moving it on soon and giving somebody a decent but not too long championship reign. Otherwise you get the impression that there's no competition for it. If one person can hold it forever, then there's really no challenge there, and that cheapens the belt too. So we're starting to enter dangerous territory, and that's why I don't think that Priest wins from the Money in the Bank contract, really. Any negatives at all from this match?
No, none at all.
No. Okay, then before we move on to the other topic of conversation that came after this match, let's just put these predictions to bed. I didn't really know what the off the wall choice was in this one, so I just went with my gut. And in agreement with you, I went for Cody Rhodes, Seth Rollins, Jey Uso, Sami Zayn, and Randy Orton for the win.
Do you want to know why I predicted that?
I do.
Because, number one, it's Randy Orton's return.
Yep.
And number two, this is the first War Games match that Cody Rhodes has been in.
Yeah, but that's a good reason for him to lose.
But it's his father's match.
Exactly. It's a good reason for him to lose. Do you see what I'm saying? But
not really.
I just feel like WWE have been trolling Cody a little bit, and with this whole finish the story, it's like, we'll finish the story in 2028 or something. Like, you just stay there and be mid, Cody. Don't worry about it. We'll present you like a main event star but you've never won a world championship, and no one will notice. He needs a world championship.
He does.
He will already have been back in WWE 2 years by the next WrestleMania, which is not that far away. And it's time. Let's make it happen. Even if it's just the World Heavyweight Championship and not dethroning Roman Reigns. He just needs to be a world champion. They need to be able to say a former world champion from anywhere. And I don't mean outside of the US. That doesn't count for this accolade, I'm afraid. If he'd been AEW world champ, that would have been a different story. That would have been fine. But he booked himself out of that. So so yes, all that to say, I will finish this Survivor Series War Games on a paltry 2, and you will finish on 4 for our final correct predictions. The final predictions for the quarter. are as follows. It's not difficult to work this out, really, if you've followed along and you can count. I will finish on 108. That sounds horrible over the microphone. And you will finish on 113. Which is unlucky for some. I hope that that 13 will be a bad omen for you going into the next quarter. Look at that logo on there. What a beautiful belt.
It is. Shame you've never held it. Mwah.
Yes. Well, congratulations. Not going to be bitter about it. The fact that I forgot to predict an event did end up costing me in the end.
That did cost you a lot.
Because those were the points that I probably needed, at least to stay in touching distance. Yeah. So won't do that again. But yes, congratulations.
Thank you.
Better luck next time for me, I guess. Yeah. I did finally manage to win the championship on the effing racing show this year.
Oh, well done.
And that's a year-long competition that I won last week.
But it's not this, is it?
No, we don't even have a prize for it. So
exactly.
But now that I've won, you can bet your ass that I'm going to make a prize for it, so that I have something to wave about.
Of course,
like a golden steering wheel or something. Yeah. Spray paint one of those old like Wii steering wheels or something. Just something to
get
hold.
One of them. There you go.
I may even have a children's steering wheel knocking about from my daughter. I'll spray that gold. I've got spray paint. I've got the gold spray paint out to spray some Christmas decorations. So now's a great time to do it. So everything's coming up, Jazz, on other shows, not this one.
Apart from this.
Yeah. Now then, before we give Survivor Series a final rating and ride off into the sunset for this quarter, CM Punk made his final return to WWE. We can also talk about the promo on Raw if we want, because that's how time works, and it's happened, and we can do what we want, basically. Your thoughts on the return of CM Punk?
Cool.
Yeah. I mean,
bring it on.
Full disclosure, we're both CM Punk fans on this podcast.
Yeah.
We were happy to see him in AEW and unhappy to see him out of AEW. So I'm very glad to see him back somewhere. I didn't really care where. I think it would have been nicer for Impact Wrestling if he'd have chosen them, but you go where the money and the prestige is, I guess. If WWE are going to welcome you back, then that's where you go. So if they hadn't, he would have gone to Impact. I think I genuinely think he just wants to do some last things in wrestling before he's done. I did feel like the promo on Raw was a little bit of a damp squib. They hyped it up all night, and it's like, we're going to give CM Punk a live microphone. I'm like, great. And that's not to say that I wanted to hear him, talk down AEW or even reference AEW in some way. But it was such a white meat babyface promo with absolutely no controversy whatsoever. Apart from, pointing out that, Seth Rollins doesn't like him and that some people haven't welcomed him. There wasn't really any edge to the promo at all.
No.
And if there's no edge, if there's no controversy, if there's no speaking up for the voice of the voiceless and all that kind of stuff, then who is this guy? This new CM Punk, the homogenized version of CM Punk in 2023 WWE. What are we going to get? I'm wondering if they're just letting the dust settle and the excitement die down, and then they turn him heel and just turn him into an absolute arsehole.
I'd be down for that.
I would be down for that. Yeah. Not go so far as straight edge society or anything like that.
No.
But just an antagonist that kind of walks into a room, says something that is gonna piss people off, and then walk out again, like mini pipe bombs. He just walks into a room, drops a mini pipe bomb, and walks out, and then has to face the consequences of it in the ring later on.
Yeah.
That's the CM Punk I want to see in 2023, with probably a title run. But who knows?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Did you see Seth Rollins' reaction?
What do you think about that reaction?
He does not like CM Punk.
No, but I'm wondering how legitimate that reaction was and how much he was playing it up.
Yeah.
There is the overriding rumor is that nobody knew, and that this was kept secret from the talent, and I believe that.
Yeah.
And so that reaction, which if you haven't seen, go and seek it out. He is livid, pointing up the ramp and shouting, and is having to be held back by like Michael Cole and Corey Graves and a bunch of producers.
Yeah.
Like it's a very cool video, and that's what makes me think that's not really Seth Rollins. I know that Seth Rollins has been a company guy and has been very outspoken on Twitter against people that dare to talk down WWE.
Yeah.
But at the end of the day, he is a professional. And I wonder if genuinely he would react like that, or whether he very quickly put things together in his head and thought, all right then, CM Punk's here. I've said some bad things about him on the internet. I've gone on record about how I don't really want him to come back and that he's a cancer and all that kind of stuff. But inevitably, he's going to cross my path, and this is going to become a thing in WWE for the World Championship or whatever. Do I ham this up now to make a better story down the line? And I would like to believe...
I could see him doing that because he's that sort of guy.
He is, He's switched on, you know?
Yeah.
I'd like to believe that's what it was, and it wasn't just a genuine outburst of anger at a dude coming back into his company, because that would be really pathetic, frankly.
Yeah.
So, you know, I want to believe in Seth Rollins and that he just went into uber kayfabe mode and was like, cool, let's make this the best story it can possibly be. Let's roll with it, rather than petulant child. But I guess we'll never know, or at least not for many, many years, until Seth Rollins retires and starts talking about it.
Yeah.
He may never share whether he truly believed what he was doing in that moment.
Yeah.
But, excited for it. You know, I did think that it overshadowed Randy Orton a little bit.
It did, yeah.
And you could have got around that, by the way, I mentioned earlier, or by putting the men's War Game match earlier in the night, possibly, and then just having CM Punk randomly turn up after the other one. I don't know. There were probably ways to do it. They didn't really bother to try. Randy Orton's a big boy. I'm sure he didn't mind too much. He was having lovely waves and things.
Sat in the chair and waved.
Yeah, it's like, hi Punk, nice to see you. It's been a while. Yeah, fair play. Yeah. Okay. Any other final thoughts about Survivor Series in general before we move into a rating? Okay, in that case, it is time to give this show a rating. So I ask you today, Dan, to give me a rating out of 5. CM Punk chance, probably. Yeah, why not? Something CM Punk related.
That was on the fly, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was on the fly. Yeah. A rating out of 5 CM Punk chance, please. Sir.
Okay.
Said with confidence, like it was in his head the whole time.
I enjoyed the War Games matches.
War Games.
I enjoyed the Gunter Miz match. The Escobar Dragon Lee match was fine. The Rhea Ripley Stubby Stark was there.
Yeah.
So I don't want to go right down the middle. I don't want to go as high as I did last time for whatever the full gear. That's the one. So I want to go 2.75.
Oh, okay. I'm going to give it slightly more. It wasn't a bad event, and there wasn't a bad match on the card. I was just disappointed by the Dragon Lee Escobar match. I thought that could have been a lot better, considering the two people involved. And yeah, the women's match, fine, yeah.
Yeah.
But it wasn't bad. It was just
No.
not spectacular.
No.
So I'm with you on the slightly above meh, but I think slightly above meh for me looks like a 3.
Okay.
Slightly more generous. Just looking to get some good karma going into the next quarter, really, so I can finally win that championship.
What, you mean this one?
I do mean that one. On that note, I'm going to start to play out the music. Do make sure that you tune in to the next episode of the Main Event podcast, because we're switching things up a little bit.
Yeah.
No longer will we just be talking one specific event each week. We're going back to the old format and doing a bit more of a general chat about everything that's going on across wrestling.
Yeah.
It's just this time we'll include every company, not just WWE, in our general chat. Yes, and as Dan so eloquently has raised there, right next to the code, do make sure you get yourselves your Goat Energy drink. It's all natural, and you can get 10% off and free shipping with the code JEZ10 at goatdrinks.co.uk. Thank you very much to them for sponsoring the Main Event podcast. Till next time, I've been Jez.
I've been Dan.
And it's goodbye from us.
Bye.